Hey everyone, it's Dana. Happy Thursday evening. Thank you for joining me tonight in the Modern Mom Lounge. This week has been pretty busy. Things are really quickening up with work in general. We've had debates, which I'm not going to talk about. I'm not political in any way. We've had a lot of stuff going on in the news and so much excitement. But we are here tonight to speak to a very special person. Amanda Perna is not only a famous fashion designer, mom, influencer, and so on. She is a good friend of mine, and I'm so grateful for her friendship, and I am excited to bring her on. So tonight, live in the lounge, we are going to be discussing The Juggle is Real. So I'm going to bring Amanda on right now. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Dana. How are you?
I am fabulous. Thank you for joining me tonight in the lounge. I'm super excited that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. I'm so proud of you. Can I just gush for a second about you? Look at what you're creating, this community. Girl, you're always doing something great. This is amazing. I'm so excited for you.
Oh, thank you so much. But you know what it is? It's people like yourself that I meet that are so amazing and want to give back and are just cool people and giving and kind. And I want to share my friendships with everyone else. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is probably one of the best ways for me to do it, especially considering, hey there, guys, you know what? If it just says Facebook user, put your name in so we could say hi. Thank you so much for joining. But this is a great platform, especially with everything with social distancing. Let's get it started. And hopefully we could share each other's wisdom and help someone along the way with something.
Absolutely.
Right. So I gave a little bit of an intro about you. I was saying that you are a fashion designer turned mom, turned influencer, turned co-host, turned entrepreneur turned business owner. But I figured you could give a little more colorful of a biography of yourself.
Well, it's really funny because we've been working on my brand kit and we're trying to figure out how you explain to someone what I do, because as you said, it's a lot of things. So trying to elevator pitch myself is very confusing. I'm not even going to lie. But yeah, so I mean, I think you did a better intro than I could have, honestly. You remembered everything I do more than I do. But yeah, I do a lot of different things. And I think it all stems from being a creative person and not really wanting to or being capable of fitting inside of a box. As we say, I like to jump out of the box with lots of confetti and glitter. So, and I think it's, obviously I started in theater, and I guess my theatricalness now comes out in the clothes I make. But and then eventually I went to school for psychology, and I was going to be a psychiatrist. And yeah, a lot of people don't know that about me. And I did research at a mental hospital. And the same summer, I went and interned at Oscar de la Renta in New York, and decided psychology is probably not for me. I'm too empathetic. I went home crying every day. I was like, so I think I'm probably better at helping people feel good with the clothes they wear. So fast forward, and it's been a while now, and I've done a million different things in fashion, and here we are. And like you said, I mean, it's with the way that things are, it's been a lot of changes in what a lot of us are doing. So a lot of those slashes happened during COVID. I started creating a lot more content than ever in my life, which has been so amazing, because like you were saying, it's enabled me to connect with so many more people than I do even just with the clothes I make. So yeah.
It's like an extension of your personality too. People get to really see, this is why I like video too, is I just want all of you to know that you're out there, that this is Amanda. She's bubbly, she's sweet, she's straightforward, she is very creative, and she always adds a little bit of sparkle wherever she goes. She exudes it. So now you know why I like her so much, because she's
I certainly love you for that, Dana.
Thank you. We're just having a love fest here, guys.
I know. Did you feel that I needed this today? Today has been kind of a dumpster fire day for me, not gonna lie. So this is exactly what I needed. It was perfect timing.
That is, well, I'm glad I could perform. I love that. Okay, so I want to go back. So you started out as a fashion designer. You decided I'm not going to do psychiatry. I'm going to be a fashion designer. You started to design. You were on Project Runway, right? Which I'm sure was a great experience. Just, I can't even imagine how exciting it probably was to be on Project Runway.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's reality TV, so you take on a lot while you're there. But yeah, no, it was. I think some of my most beautiful friendships have emerged from that, and like it sounds dramatic, but a lot of times, a lot of us feel like, like when you go through something very intense in your life, you tend to bond with people quicker than normal. So yeah, some of the people from my season of my show are still some of my best friends, and it's led to a million opportunities that like I never knew existed until the show happened. So
see, everything happens for a reason. I feel like
sure.
You experience things for a reason. So you were on the show, you continue designing, and then you have this absolutely adorable baby.
Thank you.
I mean, what did you do at that point? Like, you're holding this bundle of joy and you're like,
yeah, I panicked. Well, for being honest, I had a doctor a long time ago who told me she didn't think I could have kids. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna travel around the world, and I planned my whole life, where I was just gonna do what I wanted. And then surprise, I was very surprised with the best thing I've ever made. But yeah, it was, it was a lot, and especially running a business and trying to figure out what I was going to do now, because I wanted to spend time with my child. And everyone kept saying, get a nanny, do these things. And there's nothing against that. For me, I wanted to be with her. So since she was born, Stella's been in the studio with me. She's gotten to see the world and meet some of the cool. She doesn't even realize how cool some of the people she meets are. And we're like, she'll have like the vice president of like $1 billion businesses holding her. She's like literally no clue. She's like, that's my friend. I'm like, yes, that's your friend. Sure. I was like, oh, but yeah, so my personal take on being a mom was I wanted to make a world where she was able to be part of it, and we could still give her all the things she wanted and needed and deserved, but be able to really show her all of the different things from a really young age, and see how hard it takes, how hard we work and what it takes, and most importantly for me, I think in the world's changing for the better in some ways, and I think women are becoming a little bit kinder to each other. But like when we were growing up, girls were mean, man, like mean. And I was like, well, I want her to see that women work together and women can create something bigger than themselves and something beautiful. So Stella gets dragged along to all the things. And yeah, and I don't think, I mean, it's a lot sometimes, but I think COVID has given a lot of moms a taste of what I have all the time. It's a lot.
What? Yes, it's the 24/7. I mean, it did. It turned a lot of moms' lives upside down per se, especially working moms where they're juggling both. I mean, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you have more 24 hours.
God, so much work.
So you're like stay-at-home mom plus another 12 hours because you're also integrating Stella into your business. But what I wanted to point out, and I think it's super commendable, is that you're teaching her that she has a kick-ass strong mama who's working really hard and has great days and some days where you want to just take your coffee and go sit in her teepee.
For sure.
But you're becoming such an amazing role model for her. And though there's ups and downs, you're showing her that it can be done. And I think that's really important for parents out there, is that we're so hard on ourselves and we're like, oh, forget it, I can't do it or whatever. You know what? Your kids are seeing the reality of it. They're going to appreciate it down the road. And
down the road for sure.
Right now they might not as much, but they'll appreciate it. And you'll be like, you know what? There are hard times. It's not always parties and fashion shows and things like that. There are hard things. You have to work hard for it. So I think you're like definitely the spokesperson for that when it comes to being genuinely a great mom, a realistic mom.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think that's what I try, honestly. My mom worked all the time and tried to shield us from a lot of things. Like I really, as a child, thought the whole world was like rainbows and butterflies and like everything was perfect because she did a great job of making us feel like that's how it was. And so I said, well, I don't know that I can. Yay, Ashley agrees with us. I don't know that I wanted that for my daughter. I wanted her to see how hard it is. I wanted her to understand. And like, listen, I had to babysit since I was like 12 and my parents made me work to earn things, but I didn't fully understand what my parents were going through. And I'm not saying I dump all my problems on my 4-year-old and I want her to be my therapist, but I want her to understand that, okay, some days mommy and daddy have to work late and we work late so she can have these toys that she wants and she can go on the trips that she wants and we can have the home that we have. And I wanted her to really start grasping that. And she does now. Finally, she's at the age where she's starting to understand that it's not just I want to work and we have our Stella hour every single day. And that's her time to do whatever it is she wants to do that day. And of course, we have more time throughout the day, but she has that dedicated hour. And like people on my team will tell you, if they call me during Stella hour, like if I have my phone, which I rarely do, I'll be like, I'll talk to you after Stella hour. And they're like, okay, okay.
I love that.
But it's the juggle, man. The juggle is so real.
But you're adapting to it. So are there pointers so you have like your Stella hour. So that is like pointer number one to put out there. If you're working from home or you're a stay-at-home mom and you're with your kids all the time, whether it's because they're not they're doing virtual school or they're too young, depending on the age range, to carve out that special time specifically for the children where the phones are put away, there's no electronics. It's like it's a really special time.
For sure. And I think for a lot of parents too, they hear an hour and they're like, oh my God, I can't give an hour. Well, maybe it's you do 15 minutes a couple of times a day. Maybe it's, you break it into smaller chunks. Or one of my friends gave me the best suggestion, which I'm going to pass along as her advice, not mine, of setting a timer. And, you say, hey, okay, I'm going to work until this time. When the timer goes off, that means I can help you with whatever you want. Because our thing is we like a lot of snacks. All day long snacks. So it's been figuring out how we handle this snack situation. So like at my studio now, I have a bag and in the bag are a whole bunch of snacks she can grab. And she knows that she can eat them all right now when she first walks in the door. And then she doesn't have them the rest of the day until I'm ready for lunch or whatever that scheduled time is. Those are her snacks. And then she eats them all. They're hers and it's her decision. I try to do as many things like that as I can, decision-making things for her because she's little. Like a teenager can kind of manage themselves a little bit more. But a 4-year-old, so we're like, okay, here are your snacks. You make the decision of how you want to eat them. Right. And when they're gone, that's it. Like, I'm not going to keep all day with the snacks anymore. Like, we just can't.
Right. So, and what's good though, obviously, like you're saying, you tailor it to the age ranges too. Even though you said like she's just 4, like she's only 4, you'd be surprised. I feel like us as parents, I mean, she is younger, but like she maybe could do a little bit more or understand a little bit more than we give them credit for. Like my sister was saying, her daughter is 17 years old. I cannot believe Ryan's 17 years old, but they're all at home. It's virtual school. And Jamie was like super busy with a project. And Ryan was like, we have nothing in the house. I mean, they had stuff, but she's like,
of course. Yeah.
My sister's like, okay, you could go to the store and these are the 3 things we need. Yeah. And Ryan's like, why can't I do a big shopping? And my sister's like, in her mind, she's like, I never thought of that. You're 17 years old. You're my daughter. Like, So she's like, you know what? I had to separate myself from this and be like, I'm going to do it. And of course, Ryan is completely capable of doing a big food shopping, which she was, but it's almost like you have to let go a little bit too. And to keep the sanity. And then you'll see what the the barriers are and stuff like that. So I thought that was really interesting too. And you learn a lot about each other.
For sure.
Especially in this situation. Okay. So you you bring Stella with you to work, right?
Yeah, she comes to work with me almost every day. My mom takes her 2 days a week, and she has Gigi Stella days. So those she loves because they get to do crafts and play, and she gets like undivided attention. I mean, we were actually going to send her to school this year, and then everything happened.
I remember
So
when you were like doing all the interviewing and searching for this
I
school.
searched like crazy. I mean, I will fully admit to all of you, I'm not ashamed. I mean, I'm slightly ashamed, but I'm a little bit of a control freak. I'm trying to get better. But so yeah, we looked at a million schools, Dana, and I asked a billion questions. I think these people all thought we were nuts. I don't even care. I was like, this is my kid. And so we asked a billion questions. We picked her school. We decided in March. And we did all the paperwork. We gave the deposit. We flew out to Los Angeles for a couple of things I had going on for work. And while we were out there, California declared a state of emergency, COVID, all the stuff. And we had to like fly back like the week all this went down. So needless to say, yeah. So the school was like, oh, is she coming? And we were like, not right now.
Yeah.
I don't want her first experience to be the teacher in masks and standing 7 feet apart from other kids as a preschooler, you know? So I was like, she's going to hang out with us another year and then we'll see what it's like next year.
She'll love it and she'll continue on. No, I mean, listen, I agree with you on your decision. You have to think of it as that way. School is going to be a scary new experience. You don't want it, exciting experience, but like new. You don't want it to be like, you know, Miss Sue has a mask on and can't eat snacks with your friend type of a thing. You want it to be more of a
Exactly. And I mean, I will fully say too, I also understand a lot of parents have to send their kids to school. They don't have that option. So I am very fortunate in the sense that I run my own business. She's in here. When my team hasn't been here for 6 months. I have them in little bits here and there. Everything else is virtual now. But you know, the girls on my team, we would take turns and play with her. And like, so I have a very unusual situation. If I had to report to a job every day, my decision may have to be different. You know, so there's a lot of people out there who can't make that choice, and I feel for them. I mean, that's hard, you know, but this was the decision we made for us, and
that's all that matters. You have to look out for your family. I used to play with her too when I would come in.
She loved it.
I love Stella. Sorry. So your clothing line, I just want to introduce to the viewers that are not familiar, which I cannot believe you're not, but Amanda is designer to the House of Perna and to Neon Bohemians. House of Perna, how would you describe it in 5 words or less?
Oh, well, we're doing a rebranding. And so we've been working behind the scenes on a lot of stuff during the pandemic. We at first, you know, cried about it a little bit. And then now we're like, okay, you know what? This is an opportunity to create an even better version. So that's what we're doing for next year. So the House of Perna is a luxury clothing brand. And our whole mission is to help women feel more joy and to feel like every day is a vacation. So if you're at home and you're stuck at home or out on the beach in some exotic destination, you have that same feeling of happiness and relaxation.
I feel that the fabrics that you use and the styles that you design do exude that feeling like you're on vacation. Like that one dress that I wore for the Del Rey.
Oh, you looked so good in that dress, Dana.
I felt so good.
You need to borrow that again for something because you look so good in that dress.
I'll wear it in my living room if I have to. I love that dress.
Well, that's funny you say that because that's what we decided. We want to do a whole campaign of like women totally like Zsa Zsa Gabor in their house, like mopping and, you know, doing crazy things because that's what we're doing right now. Like I cannot live in sweatpants anymore. Like I just can't. I love dresses. I'm a dresses kind of girl. So I'm like, I don't care. I'm wearing them. I wear like silk caftans around my house. I don't care. The guy's out there cleaning my pool and I'm like walking around in a silk caftan in my house. Like, well, I mean, I don't know, whatever, man. Like
I could totally see that though, but that's good. You're being you. And I love that. I love that about you. You're like, I want to feel fabulous. I'm going to wear my caftan.
Yeah. And that's my goal. I started making clothes because I wanted to help women feel beautiful. And, you know, when you put a piece on that you feel so great and you have a different personality, like you just like exude happiness. And so that's what I try to do is give you a little bit of that and confidence. That's right. And especially, you know, when things are crazy and terrible. And I think those are the moments that we need it the most to put on something beautiful and feel great, you know?
I agree. And that'll segue into Neon Bohemians, which is more of a ready-to-wear line.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So where the House of Perna is luxury and the price point's a little bit higher. I mean, people ask a lot of times, or they not really ask, they more complain or yell at me. Why is it so expensive? And I will say with House of Perna, it's the finishings. We do a lot of really complicated finishings. Every piece takes a lot of time. Therefore, I make them all in the United States. So everyone's getting paid fair wages. So when we're trying to think of how could we be able to help more women feel beautiful. We launched Neon Bohemians, and it's a lot more easy breezy, throw in and go. You could stick it in your washing machine, your dryer, and you don't have to worry about what is going to happen to your piece of clothing like you do a silk piece. So yeah, for that brand, it's more, for everyday use when you just want to have that fun piece of clothing in your closet that makes you feel happy. And, we like to say in here, like even on the crummiest day, we want to make you feel happy. And, yeah, so with Neon, the price point is less expensive, still made in the United States, but we do finishings that are a little easier, less complicated, and the styles are less fussy. So that automatically means less work, both for the consumer and for us. But
It's very interesting. So you're also starting, and I know I'm not going to be the spoiler for this because I saw some previews, a kids line. Am I right?
yes, so we are doing mini Neon Bohemians. So for a lot of our clients love matching their little ones. Actually, believe it or not, Stella always wants to match me as opposed to the opposite, where like, most of the time it's the mom who's like, let's match. And I'm like, no, look at all these fun kids clothes. I can't wear these, you wear them. And so she wants the same thing as me. So we're doing a group of things, and actually we're starting it as a House of Perna Neon Bohemians collection. Because we learned that a lot of people love the prints we have from House. And buying our masks during the pandemic, they loved the prints. They were asking, can you make clothes in this? And we were like, well, we did before in past collections. And so we were like, okay, well, maybe it's time to bring them back. So we're going to start it as a collaboration, since technically the House of Perna owns all the prints. And then we'll start shifting all of those things over to Neon.
That's really interesting. And I do want to highlight that you were the first brand, honestly, anywhere that I've seen that when the whole pandemic started, you were literally like sewing till your fingers bled
to
get masks out to the first responders. And you were the first one to like buy a mask, donate a mask. I mean, you donated so many masks. It was just amazing what you did for the community as a whole, and then nationally. So as an aside, because I'm a very big proponent of your mask needs to somehow function nicely with your outfit, or it could be an accent piece and I'll put all the links after the show, is to go and pick yourself up a mask, because I think your masks are even on sale now, which is crazy.
40% off. Yeah, we wanted to, especially as the numbers here started rising. I was like, oh my gosh, like we need to all protect ourselves. So we made them like a price point that more people could afford. So we unfortunately had to switch it from buy one, donate one to buy, like once we make 10 of them, we donate one, because like full transparency, we make next to nothing on these masks. But it was, for me, I wanted to really help people. That was the whole reason I started. Like you said, we started making masks in March, and I started on my own cutting up fabric in my studio, crying because I saw nurses saying they were trying to learn how to sew. And I was like, why would they have to do this? So I started sewing on myself. And and it was like, we were up till 4 o'clock in the morning, and then people started wanting to buy them. And I was like, I don't feel right selling this. I'm trying to save people. And then we realized, I almost had to close my business down. We had no sales. Everything got canceled for the year. We were like, oh my God, how are we going to survive? And I started panicking about my team. And, they rely on me to pay their bills and all these things, to put their faith in me as a business owner. So I was really concerned. And then when people started requesting that, I was like, well, what if we sold one and then we could donate one? And that's how it started. And then, it was, hi, Facebook user, tell us who you are. But yeah, so it was crazy, but it led to some amazing things. Some of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced in my life came from this horrible thing, which is crazy. I had emails from people from the videos that I made for Good Housekeeping. The whole world literally saw them. We had people from Abu Dhabi emailing us. We had people from Australia, and they were like, thank you for the video. I made them for all my friends and family. And I was like,
chills, man.
Yeah, I mean, Dana, like no words. Like I love what I do, but it's a pretty superficial kind of job. Like, I mean, I'm helping people feel good, but it's not like really like changing the world. And this allowed me to, like, it allowed me to physically save people. And I put like a ton of research, and I'm not telling people to buy my masks, but I do want to just make a disclaimer about the masks because it drives me crazy. A lot of brands are cutting corners and they're making them from like any knit fabric, not good, don't buy it. There's a lot of things, and we did a ton of research with surgeons and doctors and all these people, textile scientists when we made ours. And like some of the fabrics just aren't going to protect you. And these people are selling them because they just want to make money. And to me, it like kills my soul because I'm like, you're hurting people. They're paying you to get hurt by you.
Security. They're getting like a false sense of security and thinking that they're buying it and not. That's really important. I remember when you were doing like almost like crowdsourcing on Facebook, like asking people like questions about it. You started to get, like you were saying, getting the experts in and talking to nurses, medical responders and stuff like that to see what the masks are made from. So
yeah,
it's amazing. I know. It's
Thanks, friend.
So I'm so grateful that you're here with me tonight. I really appreciate your time. I hope that if you guys have never gone to see her designs, both the House of Perna and Neon Bohemians. Yes, she is rebranding, but she still has beautiful things up on her site. If you're interested, her masks are safe.
They are very safe, and they last at least 100 washes if you take care of them properly.
They're
gorgeous. Thank you.
Hello, and they're beautiful. So right now, because I cannot believe that it is 7:27.
Oh my gosh.
I want to do the speed round with you.
Okay.
So these are questions that I ask each of my beautiful women that come on, so that people, although we've gotten to know you, but like fun little things to make it, to end off on a sweet note. So coffee or tea?
Coffee.
I knew that one.
I drink lots of coffee.
Yes. Don't you have your little coffee maker in your
we have two, Dana. Espresso and regular coffee. I have a problem.
No, it's fine. It's totally. I love coffee too.
I work till 3 a.m. Dana all the time. I need all the coffee.
Yeah, I need two. I need two makers. Red or white wine, or is there a beverage of choice that you like aside from those?
Depends on the time. Usually I'll go for red, but sometimes you really want a lighter wine.
Yes.
Especially in the summer in Florida. I feel like then you need lighter.
Something more refreshing to
get.
What's your favorite flower?
Peonies.
Ooh, beautiful.
Or no, I always say peonies, but honestly, it probably should be orchids. I have 1 million orchids in my house. Yeah, I think it's probably should be orchids.
You could have two. You could have two.
Okay, those are my two.
You're totally allowed. There's no rules here. If you are not designing fabulous fashion, then you are what?
Lately, watching Netflix.
Do you recommend any series? Everyone's always looking.
I just watched, really quickly while I was working the other night, I had it on in the background. Emily in Paris was really cute. It was really cute.
I heard about it. Yeah. It's in my queue. I want to watch.
Yeah. It was very cute. Otherwise, like I watched Schitt's Creek probably like 3 times during the pandemic because you just need a good laugh, man.
Oh my gosh, they were the absolute best. I wish they would come back.
I know.
What is your favorite quote?
Oh, probably go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life you've always imagined by Thoreau.
I love that. And do you have a favorite book or author?
Oh, there's so many good books.
Everyone's always like, really?
I know, Dana, that's a really mean one. There's so many good books. I don't know. I'm looking at my husband to see if he has an answer for me.
Actually, are you more of a fiction or a nonfiction writer? We'll make it a reader. Sorry, not a writer.
It kind of depends on where I am in my headspace. I mean, I like to learn a lot. So probably nonfiction more. But sometimes you just want to read something for fun and enjoyment. Like, I mean, legit Harry Potter is probably still one of my top favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Proud Ravenclaw over here.
I think I'm Gryffindor. I forgot. I did like the whole.
I feel like you could be Gryffindor. I'm just like a big nerd, and I'm not like the person that's gonna run like out into some forest in the dark. So I definitely belong more in Ravenclaw. I'm not the Gryffindor.
I'm gonna stay over there.
I'll stay back here and calculate the situation
I'll run for you, and then I'll come back and tell you.
Perfect.
Oh my God. Well, it was so awesome to see you and hang out with you and learn more about you.
Thank you.
I can't believe you were going to be a psychiatrist. That's so
Yeah.
cool. I love that. I love learning
Yeah.
things about that.
Yeah. I just wanted to help people, man. I'm helping people in a different way, but yeah.
You totally are. So everyone that's out there, thank you so much for joining us as well. I am going to leave all of the links and social media platform handles for you to connect with Amanda. She is at the House of Perna and at Neon Bohemians, but I'll put everything out there so it'll be easy to click through. If you have any questions for Amanda, if you're looking for any information on her product line, please, by all means, have give us
Thanks, Ashley.
She's awesome. Give us a quick shout out. You can message me or just comment beneath the video. And I hope you guys all have a great night. Thanks again, Amanda.
Thank you, Dana. Bye, guys. Thank you. I will. Bye.